Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Paul. This is Out Nerdy. The Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 6. Now, I'm support as a Star Wars fan. I should absolutely love this episode. I mean, after all, it's given me, it's thrown the kitchen sink at me. You know, I've been smashed round the head with pots and pans. They've thrown that much at us into this episode. And I can't help but not feel ecstatic. I've seen some reviewers on YouTube and they're creaming themselves over the episode. And I don't get that. And I wish I did. You know, for me, episode 6, well, let's get it out of the way. First, again, the Book of Boba Fett, for 2 episodes now, Boba's not been in it, right? Boba Fett has not been, he shows up in a scene, but once again, it's Agent May who's doing all the talking. Now, I know we don't want Boba, none of us really liked that he was talking so much in the first place. But after going an entire episode where he's not even in it, for him to then, for be little more than a cameo in his own show, it's a bit, it's a bit of a disservice to the chap who's playing Boba Fett. I don't know. This last week's episode was good because we finally, and I'm going to sound again a bit psychotic here, we finally got some violence from a character who is supposed to be all about, using violence to get his bounties, whether they be alive or dead. And we got more action in the first 4 minutes than we've seen in the first 4 Boba Fett. Now, today's episode, I'm just, I'd usually try and write some notes out on this, but it could end up going on forever. That's why I'm doing it in 2 parts. It was a lot of key jangling for me. It was a lot of, and it didn't serve the story of Boba Fett. It may have served, it serves the story of the Mandalorian going forward. So, once again, this episode, like the previous 4, it's pretty much split into 2 parts. Except this one is set when you've got on Tatooine, you've got Cobb Vanth, the marshal from the previous season 2 episode Mandalorian. He's back. Timothy Oliphant, the guy from Justified. You'll know him. So he's back, and again we got a nice little bit of the Western here where he had a standoff with some soldiers of the Pikes, and they had a nice little gunfight at the OK Corral kind of thing where he shot 3 of them, I think, but only with two blasts, and then obviously he lets the last one who didn't kill, he lets them go. So this story is mainly concentrated on him, and then also we have right away they have Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. He goes, he knows where Luke is for some reason. I don't know how. It's not explained how he knows where Luke is. Grogu, as well, obviously as well, but he knows, and that's not explained. But he just knows where they are. And I'm sure any Imperial remnants would love to have known that. But anyway, he lands on the planet, and they've got all these little. I suppose that in real life they'd be worker ants, but they're building a new Jedi temple. Whether it's the one from The Last Jedi or not, I'm not sure. I've not watched The Last Jedi since I watched it the first time round. But we have that, and as he comes into zoo, you just see this little radar dish, and as it starts going down, and I'm watching it with my wife, and I'm like, don't be R2, don't be R2, and it comes down and it's R2D2. Now a lot of people would have loved that, and I possibly would have loved that at some point, but it's the constant thing where Star Wars is set in a galaxy far, far away. Now forget the far, far away bit, galaxy. And yet they've bowled it back down. They bowled it back down to the fucking Skywalkers. Now I love Luke Skywalker, and I quite like the prequels. I won't say I loved the prequels, but I did like learning about Anakin and seeing him slowly turn to the dark side. If you've watched the Clone Wars TV show as well, so we zoomed down to R2, and it's just like, it's like, for me, it's like we don't need to check in on Grogu so soon. Anyway, fuck that. I'm going to leave this for the other video. Sod that. Hello, Walking Wounded. 1 minute. Come here, you. Oh. The Walking Wounded's here, because look, he's had a lump took off his foot, poor sod. So, anyway, you come and join me. So, he's gone to check up on Grogu already. I'm not sure whether that needed to be in, but they needed to make the episode 40 minutes long, didn't they? He ends up having these workers around to make a bench for him, and he ends up falling asleep because he's waiting that long, because, Luke's training Grogu. So off we go. And when he wakes up, we cut to Alfie's putting me off here. I do apologise. So he's waiting and resting for Grogu to turn up, and Luke is training him. And we see Luke training Grogu, or careful, helping him meditate. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to see, but I don't think it should have been in the Boba Fett show. So Luke goes through a bit of training with him and meditation, and he asks Grogu, does he want to remember the Order 66? And so we flash back, and it is, and we've got 3 Jedi who are protecting baby, Grogu, and the clones are killing them. We don't see who rescues Grogu yet, and I'm possibly really, really wrong, but I'm gonna say they're gonna do it where it's Mace Windu. I might be completely wrong, and if I am wrong, great. But we never saw Mace die. There's a big fan thing where they want him to still be alive. So I think obviously won't be in this, but going forward they will show how Baby Yoda was saved, because even though a bit of mystery might be great, Disney at the moment have to give you backstory on everything. Yeah, we saw it with Cruella. Who cares about Cruella fucking DeVille? She's a bad guy. We don't need to know her motives behind being a bad guy. Bad woman in this. So that happens. We get, like I said, we've got Luke training him. Mandalorian wakes up and it's Ahsoka Tano. So this is maybe 6-7 minutes. We've got the Marshal. So this could have been, for me, called the Book of Boba Fett and the six cameos. So we've got the Marshal, R2, Luke, Grogu, Ahsoka. Yeah, possibly 7 if you count Yoda's lightsaber. But we'll get there. So Ahsoka and Mandalorian are having a chat, and she asks him why he's come back, and he says he wants to see the kid. She asks him, "Is that wise? Are you doing it to? Is it it's more like, is it for him you want to see him, or is it for you?" you know. So he ums and ahs. He offers her. She she asks what you know. He says he's got a gift for him. So she says, "Let me give the gift to Grogu." So he agrees, and you know, he's in within seeing distance of him. But in the end, he respects what's possibly the right thing to do is to let Grogu stay with Luke, or to not interfere with the training. So he hands off the armor to Ahsoka, and then we get so off he goes. So that's pretty much that tale, the tale of Mandalorian and Baby Grogu. She goes to Luke. Luke knows that the Mandalorian was here. So does Grogu, because as Mandalorian shoots off, we see Grogu. He's pointing to it, and you get that there's a connection there. Luke doubts himself a bit as to whether Grogu actually wants to be trained, and Ahsoka says, "You're so much like your father." So we then get Luke. He takes Baby Yoda out with the training bot that we saw in A New Hope, which Luke uses as his basic lightsaber training, and this helps Grogu start to remember his previous training in the Jedi Temple. So we get lots of nice little flips and jumps, like we see Yoda doing in his fight scenes in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And like I said, these are good scenes. I enjoy them, but again, I don't know if it fits in the Book of Boba Fett. I know we needed to see Mandalorian get there so he could go back and help Boba, but I feel we could have maybe done that as part of a time jump or something for when we get to Mando season 3. I don't know, but he fucks off. Like I said, she tells Luke that the Mandalorian's been, drops the armor off, and she scarpers off to her own TV show. And he says, "Will I see you again?" And she says, "Perhaps." And then she goes, and she tells him to trust his instincts. So then we go back to Tatooine. Mandalorian arrives, and we get the one scene where Boba's in this. We get the one scene where Boba Fett is in it, and he doesn't say a word. Agent May does the briefing when perhaps it should be him, since that they are fighting for him. They're not fighting for Agent May. She's not the leader just yet. But she goes through the briefing, tells them what's what, and then we skip back to the Mandalorian goes to the Marshal, and he goes, "We need your help. Your mob are good fighters." And the Marshal's like, "Well, no, not really. We don't want to fight, and we've got it good at the moment." And Mandalorian quite rightly says, "You've got it good right now, but eventually this will come and get you. It will come to your town." So the Marshal says, "Yeah, all right, let me have a think and I'll have a chat with everyone." Mandalorian goes, and then a figure comes out of the desert, and it's Cad Bane, who we've seen, who's obviously in the expanded universe, but we've seen him in the Clone Wars TV show. And he comes in, and they have another standoff. So that like I said, that's 6 cameos now. 7 if you include Yoda's lightsaber, because that becomes quite important. So 6, definitely 6 cameos. A lot of key jangling. So him and the Marshal square off. He tells the Marshal, "Look, stay out of it and nothing will happen. Nothing bad will happen." But the Marshal's, deputy comes along, not really reading the situation, ends up getting full of blasters and is quite obviously dead. We see Cad Bane, he shoots the Marshal, but only once, and it looks more towards the shoulder. and he's gone down as though he's dead. And this particular scene ends where the bartender's looking at the marshal, and you can see in the acting and the facial expressions that they're probably going to fight now. You've just given them the revenge motive. Now, we skip back to Luke with Baby Yoda, Grogu, and Luke says to him, "You've got a choice." And he puts the Mandalorian chainmail down to one side and pulls out Yoda's lightsaber and puts it on the other. And he says, "You've got a choice. You can become a Jedi, my first student, and become a Jedi. Or you can stop your training and go back to your friend." And then it cuts out. And that was the episode. So I'm going to end it here. That was the episode. For me, I should love it. I should absolutely love this episode. I've watched it twice now because I've just watched it before I started doing this review. And it's been bothering me that why I don't like it. Well, not that I don't like why I don't like it. Fuck it. Let's lay it down. It's a good episode, but I'm not sure if I like the episode. I'm not sure if I like the content. And I'm fucking crazy for that, I'm sure. But for me, and I know they said at the shareholders meeting a couple of years ago when they released a lot of shit that they were going to make the world really interconnected. So the MCU in Star Wars, basically. And I get why they've done it, but I'm not sure if it was the right idea for this show. I really don't. Anyway, it's 15 minutes. It's gone on for 17 minutes now. I'm going to end it here. And I said the next video is going to be on why I didn't. What didn't work for me properly. So anyway, please like, share and subscribe. I do hope you like the video. We're not all going to have the same opinions, are we? Let's be honest. So, don't slate me for thinking differently. Anyway, that's it for now. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.